Only assume that's a good thing. Welcome to Havoc 4. We will never forget 9/11. That is the theme for this particular show that we're having. And we honor all those that we didn't have to lose, our family, friends, our emergency service workers, the day-to-day laymen who tried their best to make sure that everyone that they could help was helped. And that's the energy that this particular show is going to possess. Positive energy, because we will always fight for our nation. We will always fight for our brothers and sisters to ensure peace and the American way. Now let me get on to this very exciting card that we put together. This card is going to be action-packed, and it's a big card. We have 11 bouts. We have some outstanding new prospects making their pro debuts. We have some fighters that have been in the Havoc family, honoring their skills, becoming faster, sharper. And then we have, in our co-main event, main event, two very exciting bouts, one being a woman's bout. Now usually I would start at the bottom, but I'm going to mix this just a little bit. I'm going to throw a little bit of flavor in this. And I'm going to start with our pro debuts, because we have so many. I'm going to start with the ones who aren't here, because the weather was kind of rough. At junior welterweight, making his pro debut will be Zachary Ochoa. Cletus Selden was also a fighter who boxed on the card, but unfortunately he came up with an ear infection, so he won't be participating. But he will be on our next card. It's very exciting. I'm giving you a heads up, because when this kid fights, you're really going to have a fantastic time. To my right, we have a young man who will be boxing in the junior featherweight division. I've never seen him box, but I've heard a lot about him, and I'm looking to see him shine on September 10th. I want him to stand up and say hello, Brian Romello. Making his pro debut.
Guys, be there September 10th. That's the show. That's the kids and all the way. Thank you. Good luck.
Okay. This next young man has boxed on several of our cards, and he has been growing consistently in his technique and his talent. He's boxing at junior middleweight. I'd like you to give a big round of applause for Frank Gallardo.
It's my second card on the Havoc team, and it's going to be an exciting show. We need to, light it up the nation. It's going to be great and a wonderful experience. Thank you. Hopefully we see you guys there. God bless.
This next athlete has been buying his time. He started his pro debut several years back, and unfortunately started off on the latter side of the win. But no one really understands his true talent. I can tell you, he is very talented. He's like family to me. Actually, I call him my nephew. And when you see him in this ring, I'm telling you, you guys are really going to be excited. You're going to be witnessing a show. We're bringing him back. We're building our family once again. I'd like you to give a big round of applause for Alvin and Castillo.
It's going to be a good night. I promise everybody, and I promise I'll be ready. It's going to be a good show. bringing everything back. Thank you, everybody.
This next young man is my nephew, and he's one of the most talented young men that I've ever worked with. And that's what a lot of people say. A lot of people at this table will tell you the same thing. We're looking forward to him staying busy now, staying on the right track, and realizing his goal of one day becoming a world champion. I'd like you to give a big round of applause to Anthony Lyons.
I appreciate everybody behind Havoc Promotion for giving me the opportunity to use my talent. And I promise I'm going to let you guys down. Thank you.
This next young man is actually the first athlete that was signed to Havoc Promotion. I remember when he came through the gym doors, and we had known that his record was 18-0 with 16 knockouts, but he was from Colombia. And you know as well as I do that when you come to the United States, you have to work. But you can't just step aside and say, well, 18-0 with 16 knockouts, that's nothing. We all will get the chance to see him display his ability and his talent on September 10th. He's been working hard. He's been getting the whip cracked at him left and right, because we know there's a massive amount of ability and potential here. And we are looking for him in the next maybe 5 or 6 fights to be in the top 5 in the cruiserweight division. He doesn't speak English, so I'm going to ask his coach to come and interpret a little bit for him. Let's give a big round of applause for Castillo.
First, everything, thank you very much for having me.
Llega el momento de la pelea para hacer un buen combate.
Can't wait to the fight to make this little show so everybody can see his talent and shoot out. Thank you very much for having the show.
I'm looking for him to represent. Okay. I don't know where our co-main event is, but once again, we know the weather is kind of rough outside. So we're going to move on, and I'm going to introduce our main event. This young man made his comeback September 11th, and he's been on a tear. He's boxed 3 times since then. He's registered 3 wins, 2 by stoppage, and I'm looking for Joel to be one of the premier athletes in our establishment, and I believe one day he will be a world champion also. He is our main event, and actually we're looking to step him up to 10-round affairs after this next show, and having the television audience get a chance to see what he can display in the ring. Please give him a big round of applause for Joel Castillo.
I'd like to give you all attention, man. I'd like to thank Barnes and Havoc Promotion and everybody who made it possible. My camp has been training hard, you know, all my teammates are here on the table to let y'all know we put in hard work in the gym, you know, so if the fight looks easy, then we do what we're supposed to do. You know, I'd like to thank God for giving me this ability and this opportunity, because I had took a long time off, but I'm back, and when I've been back, I've been nothing but on the grind, you know what I'm saying? And can't stop, I won't stop, and we can't stop. We ain't gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? We in the hurt business, somebody gonna get hurt September 10th. So appreciate it. We gotta be there and see the best performance. Everybody that's working hard. I like everybody that's on this card. I want to thank everybody that's on this card for making me the main event. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to put on a good show. Thank y'all and God bless.
Okay, since our co-main event isn't here, I'll just explain what's going on. Her name is Amanda Serrano, and she boxes in the featherweight division. She's undefeated, and she is an all-action athlete. I mean, she brings it to the table, and I've seen her perform in the venues and at the shows that she has participated in. She has been consummately and consistently the best athlete on those cards. She would have had a run for her money with this group that we're working with now, but she would have ran with them. So we're looking forward to Amanda performing at her best on September 10th. I would expect for her to be at our last press conference, and she'll tell you more about what she plans to do when she is here. And that is our card as it stands. Thank you very much for coming out. Please ask the athletes questions, and we're looking forward to once again putting on a fantastic show for everyone involved. Media, please. Oh, before I go any further, we very rarely get our treasurer up further than the steps, but now we have him close to the table. I'd like you to all welcome our treasurer for Havoc Promotions, Randall Ramirez, and also our newest acquisition, which in my opinion was our good tidings and benefit. This young man I've known for some time, and quite honestly, I've never seen him upset, and I've always seen him making things happen. He has brought that to Havoc Promotions, and I'm just so happy to say that he's the secretary of this company. Please welcome our secretary, Ray Campbell. We will be having our final press conference